creating shared value all about? CSV is short for Creating Shared Value. It is a powerful business management concept that can promote companies to think differently about their approach to social and environmental issues. It is a strategy for addressing society's challenges through profitable business models. It's all about policies and practices that enhance the competitiveness of companies while improving social and environmental conditions in the regions in which they operate. CSV is not CSR. Creating shared value goes beyond philanthropy or corporate social responsibility. Shared value is not about personal values. It's not about sharing the value already created by firms. It is not CSI. It is not philanthropy or corporate social responsibility. Because in these cases, an organization's social contributions are not necessarily intrinsic to the bottom line. The concept of shared value recognizes that societal needs, not just conventional economic needs, define markets. It is also an important tool to align any business to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The social challenges identified by the goals provide a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. When businesses act as businesses, not as charitable donors, they can improve profitability while also improving key measures of societal well-being, environmental performance, public health and nutrition, affordable housing, and financial security. Ultimately, it's all about weaving social need into the very fabric of business and creating both economic and societal value. Shared value is the most powerful practice that any company can use to achieve its purpose at scale. It increases company competitiveness and profitability by solving social problems. It helps to drive innovation by seeking opportunities for both business and society. And ultimately, it helps to create a sustainable future.
All right. All right, you're all welcome to the second edition of the Shared Values Maiden and Fantastic Forum, dubbed the African Entrepreneurship Forum. If you are connected here, I like the fact that everybody is introducing themselves. If you're here to introduce yourself, let us know where you're speaking from. I am Andrew Skufia Kotado, I'll be your host for this forum, and I'm speaking from Ghana. I happen to be a business developer, an entrepreneur, and currently working with the Ghana Tech Lab as a business developer and also helping startups to have access to finance, helping them with their investor readiness programs, and then basically helping with training and development. First of all, let me tell you brief about the African Entrepreneurship Forum. So it's a platform to support entrepreneurs across the continent with the aim of helping African entrepreneurs to get to the next level of their business journey. So if you are here, get excited and be ready to be impacted. We have an amazing list of panelists here. We have an amazing list of speakers who are going to share the most impactful information to transform your business and also to push you towards sustainable progress and then sustainable future, all contributing towards promoting and then accelerating progress towards the SDGs. So as far as let me welcome Vio. Vio is the director for Shared Value and then Shift Impact Africa, will give us the set and scene.
Thank you so much, Andrews, and thanks for that, getting us started with the right energy. Welcome everyone to this second ever African Entrepreneurship Forum. So I'm very honored to be here on behalf of the Shared Value Africa Initiative as the hosts and conveners of this platform, but actually As you saw on the introductory video, we are about advocating for all business on the African continent to implement shared value, right? Shared value, which is about how a company aligns its business strategy with creating social and or environmental impact. We believe that this is what will contribute to more sustainable societies across the globe, but also specifically here in Africa as well. You know, we do work mainly with the private sector. I just want to pause and ask everyone to please make sure that your microphones are off. I know it's a big group today, but in order to hear our speakers through the session, just make sure that videos can stay on, but please keep microphones off as we continue. So as I was saying, so as the SVAI, we work mainly with the private sector but not to the exclusion of civil society or public in terms of advocating for the implementation of shared value throughout operations, right? And especially now that we are in the decade of action towards the achieving the sustainable development goals. We are a young continent. I mean, that's why we're all here today, with large amounts of entrepreneurs, startups, small, medium, and micro enterprises. And the power of creating this better future on our continent lies within this continent, this collective. And that's why we're here today. That's why we decided to also, as the SVAI, look at implementing various programs and partnerships to support entrepreneurs like yourselves on your journey. You'll hear details a little bit later about an introductory investor readiness course that we're very excited to launch, and we'll be giving some information on that, but also really, really excited that today we'll also be sharing details on how you could register to get into this course for free. So look out for that throughout today's session. And also, we also will be doing a poll shortly on the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which I'm sure you'll agree is crucial for all to participate in and benefit from, and reaching this goal of inclusive and sustainable development in Africa. So we'll take a few minutes for the poll shortly as well. And of course, with Andrews as a moderator of the panel, we'll have a discussion later on with more peer-to-peer learning as you hear from entrepreneurs like yourselves and on their journeys. We're happy to have you here today, and we hope that you find this an enriching session. We have a lot to get through on the program, so I'm not going to take much more of your time. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, our keynote speaker, Mr. Talifani Mamafa, who is joining us as CEO from Analytics. And he's going to tell us about his journey as an entrepreneur and what he's learned, you know, through challenges and successes that he's experienced on this over these last years. Over to you, Talifani.
Thank you so much for your appreciate it. I love the platform. I think it's one of the best platforms in Africa. I honestly appreciate to be the voice of Africa, to speak to Africans. And I think this is the time where we can start talking to ourselves in our own way, in a language that we understand and also understanding where we're coming from. I'm excited. I want to tell you more about my story and what it got me to be running Analytics Advertising, the largest digital transformation company in Africa, one of the fastest growing. It obviously takes perseverance, but more than anything, building Analytics Advertising was all about bringing solution that will help in consumer behavior, consumer analytics. And we wanted to be to bring a combination of data science, tech developments, and creativity. In Analytics Advertising, as a growing company, we aim to be the face of Africa, to have a voice in Africa, and also help people who are, everyone else who's growing and who's aspiring to be great and thinking about building models and solutions that will help in the digital economy. I want to share the most important thing as you running a company, or as you see yourself growing and evolving, you will realize that it's a mental game. You will battle a lot mentally with a lot of problems that are just allowing you to get to another level, to get to another part of the world, which is entrepreneurship. Because where we're coming from and the knowledge we've learned in the schools didn't equip us to be ready for entrepreneurship. So when you are starting a business, you realize that a lot of problems are just trying to play with you mentally. And if you can engage with it, you can easily be broken down. And building analytics, I've went through a lot. And one of the things that was key to figure out was, if you are going to be chasing people to get them to be part of your business or to get them to buy into your business, the more you chase people, you become like a chaser. You become like a beggar. People treat you as that, you know, and this is a problem that most entrepreneurs, I see it happening a lot. And this is what makes us fail in business. It's because you keep chasing, but if you look at every large corporation that have existed and the corporations that are running the game, we all know them because they have built a model that makes them attractive. And we need to build businesses that are attractive. We need to be known. We need to build brands that are recognized by their stories and by what they do, and also by the shared value that they play in the society. So I introduced a model in analytics advertising where we had to start being attractive by our solution and also by telling our stories. I don't think our stories have been told enough and in a way that you can be attractive. So most entrepreneurs, they struggle because of that. They are not attracting. People are not asking them, what do you do? You know, and through that, you realize that they are failing or they are panicking. But if you can develop a model through your digital platform, social media, however you communicate, if you can use that platform to now tell your story and communicate your service, communicate where you're coming from, communicate why you're doing what you're doing, you will be able to at least attract some few people to engage into your service. And telling a story is very important because that's the unique way that makes you separate from everyone else. So I would say start telling your stories and tell your services and start speaking what you want to do. And also, we are social animals. We connect through speaking. We connect through engaging with people. So you cannot be a successful entrepreneur if you're still thinking about I, like all about yourself. You know, like I've met so many people who are thinking about themselves and thinking they will make it big. But you have to realize that business is human to human. You are working with people. Your humility, all these are the characters that will perfume who you are the attraction for your longevity in business. So practice humanity and also associating yourself with people, communicating with people, socializing with people will put you in a position where like people get to know what you do and what you're good at. And I just think that to be powerful, you have to start offering things for free. You have to be a person who likes giving. You know, I've met people who just give and through their giving continues to get them more successful because as the more they give, the more people think about them and the more they give them opportunities. So that's one of the things that I realized when I was building analytics, that you have to be a person who gives from heart and with a good heart and not expecting anything back, you know? And these actions might look like, why should I be giving people? But it's a key to growth. It's a key to people recognizing your work. It's a key to everything that will represent you in business. The other thing that I think is very important as I was building analytics advertising was the energy. You know, sometimes you think people don't want to help you. There's no funding and all of that. And there's a lot of reasons around it, but it's all about energy, right? I believe my energy is based on how you're projecting yours to me. So if you want to be blessed sometimes, or if you want somebody to help you, project good energy, project some energy that makes them feel welcome. And I think it's all about vibrations that we're putting out that makes us, that afford us an opportunity to be in the boardrooms or in platforms where it allows us to grow. So practice your energy, practice a very high level energy. If it's from 0 to 10, live in 90 to 100% of energy, you know, every day, every moment, when you project, when you present your business, when you present whatever you want to do, stay on the highest vibration. And let your mind think dominantly about what you want to be tomorrow, you know? we often stress about problems and challenges that we're going through now, and we make them sound like it's everything. But to be honest, your tomorrow is determined by what you're thinking now. And if you start thinking now predominantly about what you want to be tomorrow, somehow you calling out the vibrations and the frequency and the relationships and the network of people who should be associated to you tomorrow. Most people block their blessings because of the energy they are projecting out, and the energy, like the mindset that they are projecting out. So I think predominantly think about what you want to be tomorrow. And you will go through a lot in business. It's part of the game. You will go through hell, but why would you stop in hell? You know what I mean? Like, you have to keep going. And to be honest, it's not an easy game. I'm from data science, graduated University of Pretoria, and I thought I had enough knowledge and enough theories to maneuver entrepreneurship. And I worked in corporates. I worked at Pick and Pay, worked at AutoZone. I worked at one of the largest corporations in Africa. But you would think that that's enough for you to excel in entrepreneurship. And to be honest, that's nothing. That's like 1% or 5% of what you are still going to go through. What you're going to go through, it's a lot of what to do with your mind, how you get challenged and come back, you know, the comeback effect, you know, the mindset to not to fail when you get broken down. And I think all of this is what will allow you to stand the test of our times and be ahead and grow over time. So I believe that a business is like any other thing that grows, like a tree, like a human. It takes time. It needs you to keep feeding it every day. One most important thing that I keep telling people around me is if you had a bucket of water every day and you have to pour 10 different trees using that same bucket, you realize that you are dividing the water that should go to one tree. So I would say, if you have different ideas that you have to execute, focus on one main one that will make you, that you feel like it's everything you are, and that will take you off, and then you can diversify. You know, you can't diversify nothing. You can't diversify 1%. So use all the energy, all the bucket of water into one tree and pour that every day. And you will see, over time, you will see. It's all in time. People want things quick. There's no quick success. If you want to build something that is attainable for your kids and for your grandkids and for everyone around you and the community, you have to give time, and you have to give full attention to one thing. One more thing that I will talk about is the law of detachment. You know, we have to learn that we're from the bottom, right? We're from nothing. Most of us, we're coming from red gravels and all these hills road that you feel like you don't deserve anything. But that's the mindset that you have to detach yourself from, because it's exactly what is limiting you to be great. You know, most of us are coming from poverty. We are coming from nothing. Most of the times you were eating nothing. You know, like you could go a day eating once, you know, and you feel like that's what is holding you back. So detach yourself from that mindset and start attracting more mindset of success, of thinking like how successful people think. Remember, you don't have to be successful to start thinking like a successful person. You become successful the time you start thinking like a successful person. And that's when you start attracting everything else. So detach yourself from a selfish mindset. Start helping people for free. Start being involved, start engaging with people. Anybody who tells you I don't like people, they have a limited chance to make it big, because to be successful, even if your product doesn't need people, you will need people in a high level, in a B2B, to connect you. So you need people. Any wise geek, any computer person, whoever you think you are, you need people. And the best way to engage with people is helping people for free. As we emerge as analytics advertising, we want to help other businesses as well through our communication and through our services. And most importantly, if I can help you for free, I'm going to help you. And that's what it is. That's the mindset I'm trying to bring. This is all my presentation I had. There's so much I can share with you, but they only gave me 10 minutes. So I just want to say that if you want to be successful, and if you feel like you've got ideas, great ideas, start associating yourself with the like-minded people who think like you. Even when you're still working in corporate, even when you're still having that craving, start associating yourself with people who think like that, because over time it will evolve. You will start feeling like it's time now to detach yourself from that job and full-time work on your business or your project. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Talifani. And I think that's actually quite a great note to get us started on for today. You know, part of that, it's a mind game and it's a mental game, and also the social aspects of entrepreneurship. People don't always talk about it in that sense of who you're connecting with as you continue on your journey. So we will, I know there's a hand up rather from Taguro. Talifani will be on our panel later. So on that, we will get to expand a little bit more on some of his points, and you'll also get to ask questions when we do that. So now on to the poll. So we just have 4 questions that we would like to ask everyone today in relation to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. You know, as we continue, we are doing research in this space, and we want to look at how we can enable better understanding and participation on it. So thank you so much, Lolo, for the first question. Please, guys, if you just want to take a couple of seconds to fill this in. And the first question is cross-border trade important to know about for you as an entrepreneur? You know, do you think it's something that you need to know about? You know, it might be depending on the size of your organization or what you aspire to grow to, or, you know, currently trading or not trading. Do you feel like this is something that you need to know about, you'd like to know about? We'll not, yeah, so we'll just continue with that. And then the next one then is, do you feel like you understand the real benefits of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, especially as an entrepreneur? You know, do you feel like you've got enough information and clear understanding of it, or do you feel there's might be gaps in this for yourself in your journey and in the work that you do as an entrepreneur? Okay, we've got a few questions still responses still coming in. And then we also have then, I think our next question is, if in your opinion, if successful, the CFTA can lift, sorry, my apologies, everyone. We wanted everyone to be interacting today.
Sorry, the poll is inactive. Yes. We can't vote.
Yeah, so what we'll do is, so my apologies about that, everyone. What we'll do is we will share the link with everyone to vote, because we do want to get this data from you. So sorry about this. We wanted to see you and we didn't think about that part of it, but we will definitely, if you don't mind, after today's session, for doing the survey for us, and we'll be able to collect data from there. Okay, my apologies about that. So what we'll do then is we will then move on to the first of our speakers. We have 3 speakers that we've invited today. Will be coming up to share some information on their respective organizations and the work that they do in relation to supporting entrepreneurs. Firstly, I'd like to introduce a good friend of the Shared Value Africa Initiative, Mamadou Biteye, who is Vice President of Social Impact for Central Europe, Middle East, and Africa at Visa. Mamadou, thank you so much for joining us today. We have lined up the slides, which we will share, and then we can take you through that.
Hello, good afternoon or good morning, good day, I should say, wherever you are. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly well.
Okay, fantastic. So thank you again for the invitation and all the very inspiring speakers that I've followed early on. Today, I'm really pleased to share a tool, I think, that can support the entrepreneurs as they are poised to reap the benefits provided by the AFCFTA. This is called Practical Business Skills, an online virtual platform, learning platform that Visa has developed for micro and small entrepreneurs and businesses everywhere. Next slide. And the next one as well, please. Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to share that last year, Visa, whose social impact actually is focused on driving or contributing to driving inclusive economic growth in all markets where we work on. Following the pandemic, in the context of the pandemic, where most micro and small businesses have been hardly hit, we have pledged a commitment to digitally enable 50 million small and micro businesses in the next 3 years by 2022. We will be supporting them in different ways by their inclusion into the digital payment world, not as an end in itself, but as a proxy to access to other financial services. We'll be supporting also digital integration that enables them to actually get other benefits, expand their markets, for instance, through digital, such as e-commerce, but also providing them with the skills and education and the insights they need to better manage and grow their businesses. And that's the one we will be focusing on today. Next slide. So this commitment is being implemented through different initiatives. As I said, integrated digital payment, Back to Business is also a platform that allows actually returning businesses following the movement restrictions due to COVID, actually to let consumers know that these are back to business. And we've created also small business hubs in over 30 countries where entrepreneurs can log on to and get access to different resources, etc. And with that also, we've developed She's Next, empowered by Visa, which is a platform that provides support network, particularly to women entrepreneurs, and I Fund Women, which are grants that allow them to start actually businesses. Next slide. Thank you. And today, practical business skills, as I mentioned earlier, is a virtual online learning platform. And it is made of 50 online learning modules organized in 3 learning tracks. Getting started, which is really about everything you need to know as an entrepreneur to start your business, but also to formalize your business. The second learning track is about managing a business around sales, marketing, and other information, workforce planning, and all you need as well to manage the business well optimally. And building and growing business is the third learning track, which also contains elements of how you build the resilience of your business. We understand that entrepreneurs do not always have time to sit in training sessions or actually spending too much time on the net learning. So we have accompanied this with 50 videos. And these videos are short, biteable size videos, about 1 minute for each of the 50 modules. And these videos are downloadable on mobile, etc., and pushable through social media as well. And that allows the person, the entrepreneur, to in 1 minute to learn the essential about the topic. And if more details is needed, actually to get onto the platform. The platform also comes with a lot of tools, such as calculators that allows you to easily calculate different parameters, such as budgeting, doing your profit and loss, etc., and also as infographics as well. And I should say that the platform is available in multiple languages, including English, French, Spanish, and also Arabic. So our continent is largely covered. Probably one we will be working on is the translation into Portuguese as well to cover. So yeah, next slide. This can really help if you are an organization like Shared Value Africa, or an organization that provides services to micro and small businesses, we can really provide this platform into a turnkey customizable options that and that allows you to provide it to the SMBs that you are supporting. And we have examples where this has been actually deployed with banks, MNOs, which are really telecom companies, also super apps and governments and trade associations. So it is a very cost-effective and accessible to almost everyone. Next slide, please. And we can provide this in different options. One, for those who want to actually just get on it and learn, use the lessons. You can do it through the URL www.practicalbusinessskills.org. If you are an organization and want to provide this to the entrepreneurs you're supporting, actually we provide this for free, almost. We can provide all the files so that this can be integrated into your own platform. We can also provide a URL that you can also integrate into your platform. And that is really free. We can do that very quickly within 2 weeks. We also provide dual branded websites. So if you are, for instance, Shared Value Africa, one of these, we can really brand it Shared Value Africa and allocate to it a URL of their choice. For instance, Shared Value Africa initiative.practicalbusinessskills.org, and that would be provided. So there is a minimal cost for that, which is more just about the how that work is being done, which we provide through a contractor. And there are also other more further customization options. For instance, if Kenya, you are in Kenya as an organization and you wanted to translate this in Kiswahili, that is also possible. This is something that we could do. Or if you think about the first session, which is how to create your business, sometimes if you wanted to upload, let's say, the forms that one needs to fill in, complete, or the names and the addresses of the administrative offices that an entrepreneur should go to, etc. We can customize it with the specific information for the country where it is being used, etc. So those are different options. And next slide. So basically, depending on what options we can really help provide this. So all we will need is a logo, high resolution, and a URL to do that. If the organization wants to integrate it further, what all we need is to select the different modules that they are most interested in, and we can do that. If it is a further, more detailed customization also, we are happy to discuss how this can happen. But remember, for individuals who really want to use this, they don't need all of that. They can just log on to the website at practicalbusinessskills.org. Next slide, last slide. So if you need more information about practical business skills, please feel free to go onto the website or to send me an email at mbitai@visa.com or visit our website. Thank you very much for your attention. And thank you, Share Value Africa, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mamadou, for dialing in all the way from Dubai on this for today's occasion. We have shared the link with everyone, and we'll continue to also share your email address for those who might have questions on what's possible here. And thank you so much for that. Okay.
Thank you.
And so I'm going to move quickly on to our next speaker. which is, excuse me, a new partner of the Shared Value Africa Initiative, and that is Emmanuel Deitumi, who is joining us from Uganda today, and he is the president of Human Capital International. He is similar to Mamadou, to us about the work that the organizations do, his organization does in relation to supporting entrepreneurs in Africa. Emmanuel, over to you.
Thank you very much, Rio, and congratulations to all of you for the wonderful work that you are doing. I have only 5 minutes, so I'm just going to go straight into my presentation. Please confirm for me if you can see my slides.
It is starting to share. Yes, we can see your slides.
Fantastic. All right, thank you so much. And I want to thank Mamadou, who just presented what he did, for such a fantastic strategy that they're doing. So Human Capital International, we are very excited to be associated with Shared Value Initiative. We thank you for all the great things that you're doing. We are based in Kampala, Uganda. And basically what we do is that we work with entrepreneurs, we work with SMEs, and the whole idea is to help SMEs to build capacity and also to grow their businesses beyond their founders. Now, we all know that every business starts with an idea. Now, but what happens most of the time is that a lot of businesses, statistics have shown that businesses, most of it don't grow beyond the third birthday. Most of it, sometimes even after 6 months, they're off. The question is why? And if you look at the statistics, there are different number of reasons that are given for such failures. What we do as Human Capital is that based on our research and the number of years of work that we have done, we've identified these 3 key pillars, that there are 3 key pillars that most entrepreneurs totally ignore. The first is what we call the enterprise pillar. The second is what we call the business pillar. And the third is what we call the practice pillar. Now, what we do is that we work with entrepreneurs to understand what goes into all these 3 pillars and how they can grow their businesses from the starting point up to where they can, either go global or build brands that people can even be associated with. So in doing so, we focus on 6 key areas. And in doing that, we talk about how to create a strategic objective as an entrepreneur or for your business. We also look at how to have an organizational strategy. We talk about leadership and management strategy. And then we talk about how to develop a people strategy for your business, marketing strategy, as well as how to build systems for your business. These are key, areas where we have discovered that many entrepreneurs, many SMEs don't pay particular attention to. So what we do is that we work with them by way of either through hybrid trainings and workshops and seminars and what have you, to be able to do that. But post-COVID, what we have done is that we have established what we call the HCCI Digital Learning and Mentorship Lab, which can take not less than 10,000 people at a go. And in doing so, we've established a number of mentors and trainers from all over the world. But we need to lay emphasis that these mentors and trainers are people who have Africa at heart. The reason being that we want to work with people who believe in Africa, who want to work with us to change the story or the narratives of Africa. So in HCI, what we do is that we provide e-training, e-conferencing, e-learning, advisory service and coaching and mentorship, as well as working with the entrepreneur himself or herself to grow that business. Now, what we do is that we work 20% physically and 80% virtually. Our vision is very simple: to identify, develop, and equip the next generation of Africans, corporate and entrepreneurial leaders to make a difference in their world beyond financial success. One of the things that really excited us about the Shared Value Initiative is the fact that we are all working together to ensure that we can bring some value to our communities and our people, not just to focus on only the profitability. So that is what our vision is. And we are guided by the 5x5 rule, which says that if it will not matter in 5 years, we don't spend more than 5 minutes focusing on it. So whatever we do, when we work with SMEs, we want to make sure that whatever we are investing in, whatever we are working on, are things that are going to help them to matter in the next 5 years. So practically, we've done a number of publications. As you can see, if you go to our website, we've done quite over 14 books, mostly on entrepreneurship, on leadership, and mindsets and attitudes. So if you go to our website, you can get any of these things. On Amazon, you can get them to purchase. So our website is www.humancapitalinternational.org. And you can reach us by info@humancapitalinternational.org, and our telephone numbers are also on the screen. Now, the good thing that is that next month, June, I want all of us to book this date. We're going to have what we call a dialogue, which is agribusiness and SMEs focused dialogue on the 29th and 30th of June. I mean, we are working with Shared Value Initiative, so all of you get to know about it, and all the information will be shared with you. And we want you to book that date, the 29th and 30th of June, because it's going to be a time where we're going to look at 5 thematic areas: agribusiness, SMEs, and technology options. We want to look at market linkages. We want to look at taxes and tariffs within the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and how SMEs can take advantage of that. So, in a brief, that is what HCI, Human Capital International, we do. And therefore, over to you, Vuyo. I hope I've not gone beyond your 5 minutes.
Listen, my timer was on, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. I'm having so many takeaways today. I love this 5x5 rule that you were talking about. If it won't matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes on it. I love it. I've shared the link as well on the chat for everyone, but we'll also email everyone, that information after today's event. Thank you for joining us, Emmanuel. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then, so I'm finally really excited to bring up our final speaker today. And that is Saka Nakagawa, who is founder and partner of 3 Arrows Impact, a new partner of the Shared Value Africa Initiative, to talk about this investor readiness course that we want to, provide an overview for everyone on and what you can expect from that. And once that is done, we will share a link with you where you can register for this course for free, and there's limited registrations available. So please act quickly. Over to you, Sawa.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. And it's such a pleasure to be here and hear all about the exciting opportunities that the entrepreneurs have across the continent and all the initiatives that the organizations are doing. I think it's really fantastic. So I have also 5 minutes to cover this. I'm going to give you guys a sneak preview into our new Investor Readiness workshop, which I'm absolutely excited about to partner with Shared Value Africa Initiative. Let's just see. Great. So how many of you in this room, and it's always hard to be interactive on Zoom, but how many of you guys have heard of, we don't have enough investment pipeline, there's a mismatch between entrepreneurs and investors, entrepreneurs are not investor ready? I don't know if it's possible for any of you to raise your hand to see if any of you have heard that. Okay, great. Reggie, you've heard it. Zito, Norman, Phoebe, Jason, David. Okay, I'm so glad that this statement resonates with a lot of you, because there is a massive gap between what the investors are expecting and what the entrepreneurs are expecting. And you can see that this guy is trying to jump over that gap, and I hope he makes it, and I hope all of us can make it. But if you don't understand what the gap is about, you're not likely to make it. So I'm here to tell you about this new exciting 2-hour interactive virtual workshop on investor readiness. So obviously 2 hours is quite short to cover the entire concept of investor readiness, but you can expect that you'll be learning about what it means to be investor ready, tips on how to assess your own investor readiness, developing your investor readiness journey. It's important to realize that being investor ready is not something that happens within an hour or 2. It's really a journey that involves yourself, your business, your colleagues, etc. And there'll be tips and other resources to help you get closer to investor readiness. So how do you register for the course? Before that, just a bit more details about when it is and how it works. So the date is the 10th of June, next month on Thursday, from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, Southern East Africa Standard Time. And the instructor is me. I'm Sawa Nakagawa from a company called 3 Arrows Impact Partner that's based in Johannesburg. We are a consulting company that focuses on impact investing in social innovation. So how do you register? As Vio mentioned, there will be a link in the chat that she's going to be posting now to receive limited number of free tickets. So if this is something that you think you can benefit for yourself as an entrepreneur, for your business, I look forward to seeing many of you there in June. And you're welcome to lower your hand, and thanks for your participation. If there are any questions, I'll stay on for a few minutes on the chat, so you can raise some questions as well. Thanks, Rio.
Thank you, Sawa. I'm taking over from Rio now. So if you have any questions, kindly drop them in the chat box or write them in the Q&A. Sawa will respond to it. However, we would be also creating enough time to have further interaction on the investor readiness course. So kindly apply, respond to complete your online registration, and then expect to have more feedback from SVAI. So thank you very much, Sawa, and straight up, thank you so much. That's been exciting so far. I believe that everyone has tapped into the knowledge and the information. Everyone has had his or her part. I was going through the chat whilst the conversations were, the various speakers were presenting, and then I got the sense that Africa is actually ready, and Africa is on the pathway to actually dominating the world of business, getting businesses that are sustainable, businesses that are able to apply the right strategies. And as Talfani said, businesses that are ready to present themselves, taking off that mindset, self-seeking, selfish mind, but businesses that are ready to pour themselves out. So that's exactly what we're going to delve into now. We are entering into a panel discussion, and we have an amazing list of entrepreneurs, of business people who have had that experience, people who know what it takes to actually, manage a business, what it takes to actually be an entrepreneur, the knowledge of being an entrepreneur, how to actually be successful as an entrepreneur. They are journeying on this. They are actually on this journey also. So first and foremost, I want to welcome my panelists, our panel discussion. So we have with us Alex Kamanga, MD, co-founder for Fundis. If you're here, let us see you. We'll want our panelists to turn on that video, and please, our wonderful audience, we want our panelists to turn on their videos, and our wonderful audience would love to see your faces to know that you are with us. But then kindly, mute yourself, and when there are questions, if you have questions, kindly use the Q&A button, or any thoughts or two, you can use the comment section and then express yourself. But then please stay mute. And if you want to see, we would love to see you. So we won't mind seeing your faces. So turn on your video also. So we have Alex Kamanga, MD, co-founder Fundis. And we have Maleche I'm sorry, I'm not gonna mess up your names, please. I'm a Ghanaian. But I'm going to do my best. So we have Maleche Matlakane, the founder for Uzilex from South Africa. And we have Elizabeth Okulu, Elizabeth, co-founder for Afari Foodie from Kenya. We have Talifani, our keynote speaker, the one that set the tone. He actually inspired us, got us all gingered. So Talifani already, you already know him, the CEO for analytics. So Talfani is not going to tell us what he does now, since he had a lot of time to tell us. So we're going to go to Alex to know what you do. Alex, MD for Fundis, and then a co-founder. What is Fundis? Who is Alex? What does Alex do? Let us know you.
Yeah, thank you, Andrews. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, from where you're plugging in from. Yes, as said, my name is Alex Kamanga. I am one of the co-founders and the team leader at Fundis. And basically, Fundis is the company from Kenya that is using a mobile application to enable homes and organizations to be able to find and hire competent workers, such as plumbers, carpenters, nanny, gardeners, and anything else you can think around in the informal sector. So yeah, that's what Fundis we are all about.
Fantastic, fantastic. We'll delve into your journey and know the work that you've already done. Let's move to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, tell us about you. Let us know you and your work with AfriFoodie. You know, I've heard a lot about Elizabeth. So.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Okulo. I am the co-founder of AfriFoodie. At AfriFoodie, we are using hydroponic technology, which is a soilless farming method to help people grow their own food. So we are working with individuals and also smallholder farmers, whereby we are using, indoor hydroponic portable system for them to, enable them to grow their own food, be it you want to grow your vegetables or you want to garden some herbs at the comfort of your zone. Yes, so I have a background in microbiology and hydroponic management. And before co-founding AfriFoodie, I was a former co-founder of La Famia Grains, which operated for 2 years, and it was still in the agricultural sector. And at the same time, I am incoming Mandela Washington Fellow for 2021, and I've also been in previous fellowships like Africa's Fellowship and being part of amazing communities such as, Alex communities. Yeah, my commitment to Africa is ensuring food availability, and I do this by promoting food security through sustainable agriculture and entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for that wonderful introduction. Let us go to Malachi. Please help me with your name. Tell us what you do and let us know you more. I'd love to pronounce it well, so help me, my tongue. Malachi.
It's Mashazi.
Help me, please. Say it again. Mashazi.
Mashazi. Yes.
Wonderful. I want to pronounce it like how you would pronounce it.
Masad.
Masad.
Masad. Wonderful. So tell us, you're founder for Who's the Likes. Tell us what you do. Let us know who you are.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mashazi Matlakana from Limpopo province in South Africa. I'm the co-founder and the owner of Wuzilex, a fresh vegetable produce company. We produce different fresh vegetables. We also have agricultural mentorships where we mentor young aspiring farmers who are interested or who are already into farming. And then we mentor them and help them grow and be successful. And we are also implementing agricultural, occasionally give agricultural courses from crop production, fishery, animal production, everything. We're gonna go big and cover everything. So that is actually what we're doing now, and that is what we want to do. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So we're going to stay with you, Matati, for us to understand your business strategy. So you starting up, were you interested in just trying to solve the problem of maybe as a farmer, from food accessibility or trying to bring fresh produce, trying to get people to enjoy good produce, or you're looking at something much bigger, more like getting Africa to be able to manage its own food produce, try and translate it into other form of exportation and produce at a large scale. We are looking at something a bit within solving the immediate, what was the paper, the immediate problem that you probably found in your region?
When I started, it was more like I had to go and work by the nearest farms to help feed my family. That was the first time when I got engaged in agriculture. And then as time went, it started being a hobby where I started producing and growing vegetables, actually green peppers at the backyard. And then I moved from the backyard to the farms, where I started producing and supplying big retailers. So for me, it started as passion. And then when the love grew, I saw that I can build a legacy. I can build a successful business out of this. And it's actually what I love. And it's always like this: when you are doing something that you really love, you can't really go wrong. I mean, even when things go wrong, you're still doing something that you love. You still smile. So right now it grows into something big where I want to cover everything. As I'm saying, we started only producing vegetables, and then we included mentorship packages because I saw that there is really young people who are interested into agriculture as a career choice, but they don't have the skills and the knowledge of how to do it. So that's where we people to hold them and make sure they are supplying and producing the best. And then that's now where we also including the training academy that we are busy implementing, that will be covering all the agricultural basis, which is from crop production to fisheries to animal production to farm management.
Okay. So
equipment, like we're gonna be going to cover everything, because I think
so
you need to there's like people who are not really into crop production but into
thank you.
animal
Network is
production.
yeah.
But that knowledge and the skills is not there yet.
Sure, great. So thank you very much for that. We're missing you a bit, but then let's move to Alex. Alex, why did you start Funders? What's the problem? Is there also a pain point that you identify, or you just wanted to just start a business?
Well, my approach to that is that, you know, Fundis happens to be one of those things we started as university kids shortly when we were just about to graduate. So I'm trained in law, and while I was interning at a particular law firm where I was at, over time, we started engaging with a couple of guys who are within the construction sector. And for us, around that period, 2017, 2018, it's when a lot of infrastructure development has been happening in a country like ours. So the way this came about is just starting to interact with lots of people like me who are fresh graduates from uni. Guys can't even secure internships. And over time, it occurred to us, you know, if you think about the sub-Saharan region, over 70% of jobs are in the informal sector, and likely that's gonna be the same maybe another decade. So for us, this was more of being able to build something that engages us directly as guys who are looking for work. But then by extension, being able to think around, when you're looking for workers, where do you find them? You know, when you need to look for a plumber, when you need to look for a nanny, because you'll find workers who have been in that space nearly 15 years, but they don't have a resume. It's not like guys in the formal sector where you have a LinkedIn or you can be able to send a resume. So for us, it was one out of a pain point. We were interacting with guys in the construction space who are having lots of issues finding workers. But then we thought, hey, wait a minute. Could we be able to build something long-term, something that addresses youth unemployment on the continent? Because truth be told, a lot of guys are venturing into the informal sector, not by design, but by default. Is there a way we could be able to structure that, create jobs that are satisfactory and have some sort of meaning for the guys who get into those spaces. So yeah, that was how we got into that space.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. So Lizzie, do you find yourself also within the same light, or there's something different from your angle?
Yes, so when we started AfriFoodie, we saw the need for people to start producing food for themselves within, urban areas. So like in Kenya, in Nairobi, most people depend on food which are grown by farmers who are using conventional farming. And most of this farm produce come from, different areas which are far away from Nairobi. So until the food gets on the table, you realize that it has taken a long process. So we saw the need to, to introduce a technology that will allow people to grow their own food, take charge of the kind of food that they are growing. So if they want like healthy food, if they're looking for food which are free from chemical pests or pesticides, that is why we introduced hydroponic technology, so that they could now take charge of their own journey and grow this food at the comfort of their zone. So we introduced indoor hydroponic system that a farmer can, you can just simply put it in your kitchen, or you can put it in your balcony, or just if you have a small garden, you can just set it there. So if you want to get some parsley or maybe some lettuce from there, you can easily get it. And this also, reduce the worry of, do we have so many pesticides in the vegetables that I'm consuming? So my co-founder and my co-founder who is based in Nigeria, we saw that particular need and decided to come in together so that, we can also promote people owning their journey in growing their food, and also at the same time, increase the mindset of, championing for food security at the lower individual levels. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. So from our first three panelists, we realized that they identified the pain points. They weren't just trying to start something for themselves, but to solve a need, to provide a need. And so currently, just connecting thoughts that Sawa earlier shared, we know money is always the driver. People always look for money to scale, money to do this. But then other people also say that you probably don't need money. I want to hear from Talifani. When you started analytics, did you need money? Or probably with your mindset of, giving yourself, serving yourself, and along the line, something happened. What was that something? Or probably, did you actually get the money? How's it for you?
It's a good question. And now it's easy to say it where I'm sitting right now. I thought I needed money when I started because the ideas were not clear. They were blurry. Like this is not theory. This is not, you can read so many things, you can know so many things, but application is not theory. So in theory, you need money, you need this to put this together. But truth be told, business is solving problems. And solving problems, being a good human, talking to people, don't require any money. So people buy solutions. What are you trying to solve? If you are solving a problem, you will get somebody saying, hey man, can you help me? You help them either for free or for money. You get money. But how I started, I started by helping influencers. I don't know if you know Munchal Saneli, the Funny Shit, some of the South African top personal brands that are in music and comedy. These guys are powerful now. They were not powerful then. They were just people with creativity. What I did was, I'm from data science, I'm from analytics. I use my knowledge to help them grow. And that's why you see them successful international today. These guys were not paying me, but I helped them. As I was helping them, they put me in the platform. I was in the platform, biggest platform. When I was still in corporate, I was already big in media before I started analytics advertising. So when I'm starting analytics advertising, I was already aware that I'm going to make money through personal brands development. And in future, we're going to develop it into helping many companies grow, because I already understand the impact of applying data science and applying study of human behavior to help people. I was already aware that I'm going to use that. But to initiate the business, I went and bought some digital screens, and I thought that's how I'm going to maintain my funds. That's why I messed up, because it didn't explode. It didn't work. I lost a lot of money, and business was so bad for me. But because of the things that I came up with, which needed money, the things that were free from personal brands, and now I'm working with large corporations, these things have been free. And this is how we're running corporations today. We're running digital marketing and everything, e-commerce and tech development for PPC. We work with Pioneer Foods, large corporations, man. All these things didn't need money, I promise you. It just needed a solution. And it didn't need me to revise it over time. The personal brands that I'm talking about, they are big nationally, internationally. These guys, when I was working with them, they didn't pay me. But it got to a level where we started working on 30% and all of that, and now that's how we grew.
Wonderful. So connecting to people that actually needed a solution, people that were asking for something, they needed someone to just step in for them.
100%.
I want to hear from, I want to hear from the investment journey of let's say funders, from Alex. Were you also fortunate to have, met people, or there was a point when funders had to actually connect to resources? Resources can be either human or assets, raw materials that you needed to put yourself in order. Just so that we know the understanding of your entrepreneurial journey, do you also need money, or you found people?
Right, thanks, Andrews. And I think for us, because again, especially when you're going into a space as a first-time entrepreneur, as a first-time founder, for us, it was super important to be able to do a mix of both human resources and other tangible resources as well. So for us, of course, the first go-to place is, together with my co-founders as well, we spent a short stint of time, about 6 months to 8 months, actually working for other founders as well, within the space that we are in, to understand the processes, the journeys they were taking, what they were putting together. And that made sort of sense for us now when we started Fundis, because those have been the people who have been hand-holding us, connecting us to the right people when we need the right people to talk to. But even from a point of view, for us now, it's when we are doing like a first seed round. We did a pre-seed round, in the last 2 years. But those have been technically the guys who have held us, the guys who have told us, for this area, talk to this person, for this other area, talk to this person. And yes, some sort of early resource in terms of especially human resources. You need to work with so and so for this, because most of the time as a startup, you are not in a position to always hire the best of the best. The best of the best from our universities, they don't go to work for startups. In most cases, they don't even start startups. So we got that kind of a network through, what I call a support of mentors, who are able to, talk to this person. Is it finances? Talk to this person. Is it around HR structuring? Till now, we got to a point where we are sort of now a full-fledged organization that, has the structure of growing multiple markets.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot for that. I want to hear from the female side. We have two females, two ladies here with us who are agripreneurs. And I know females have several challenges on the continent. Access, opportunities, they probably are hard to come by for our women. That's part of the reasons why we want to go balance, gender parity and all that. As a female entrepreneur in the agricultural sector, how's it been for you, juggling with your male counterpart? And this goes to Lizzie first. Maybe did you have any male counterparts? Did you face that challenge? Were you being provided a support, or probably from the Mandela Fellowship and your experiences with some platform, it came handy?
Yeah, so my co-founder is a male. His name is Victor Olachunde. But generally from my experience in the agricultural sector, of course, I've had challenges being a woman in the agricultural sector. First of all, there is high level of competition, and I realized that, male counterparts are more trusted in the agricultural sector, unlike the women counterparts. Even though we know that, in the agriculture in Africa, majority of the women are the one contributing towards the growth of the agricultural sector. But then we still face discrimination in terms of, the amount of work that you will be given as a female counterpart is not the same as the amount of the work that, the male counterpart will be receiving. The other thing is, so if you come strongly as a female agripreneur, also there is a bit aspect of, people thinking that, you don't actually have those skills. So there is constant need to prove yourself over and over to people that you can do what you are doing. So for us, we have to prove to people that I can make a hydroponic system and I can help you grow your own food at the comfort of your zone. And then the other thing is that, about other opportunities, like maybe funding opportunities or being in different platforms. Yeah, so this one is not a disadvantage point, but then there are so many opportunities which are coming by for now female agripreneurs or female entrepreneurs in general, whereby women are being given opportunities so that they can rise above the challenges that we are currently facing.
Wonderful, wonderful. So your competence actually spoke for you, the ability to do the, like, says, like, I can do it. All right. I want to hear from Malachi. Has it been also for you navigating through the system? And then let's also blend in with the ecosystem, because I'm connecting with George's thoughts. George is saying that the ecosystem in terms of public and government support policies, has it been blending with those support policies? And also, I would encourage our audience, our participants to, ask questions, drop in your thoughts. I'll be featuring your questions as we engage our panelists. So Balachi, navigating through your place, your ecosystem, the environment, and then also being a woman in agripreneurship, in agriculture, trying to bring food, good food and provide good services. Has it been for you?
Because when I started, I didn't look at it as I'm starting a business. So I will say I didn't look at it like I need money to do this. It started as like a hobby where I would like plant a little bit, wait for it to grow and nurture it, look after it. But then there came a point where I started harvesting my first harvest. And then at that point I had to go and sell. So that's when I started realizing that I'm actually in a business. What I'm doing is actually profitable. And then when I had my first profits and income, and then put back the income that I generated, that's when I realized this is actually what I love. This is actually what I can do. And I think I can make a success out of it. I know I can make a success out of it. That's where I started realizing that this can be a very profitable business. And then the little money what I was making that time, I put it all back in the business. And that's when I registered a business and started taking it as I'm actually I'm actually owning a business now. And then with fundings and stuff, it has been very, at first it was kind of very challenging, because when I will tell people I'm farming, because I started farming in 2017 and I'm 23 now. It was kind of very difficult for people to believe, what do you mean you farming? Like, are you serious? Then I had to actually wait for them to see the results, the produce that I'm producing. But as they saw the results, they were more convinced and more encouraged. And that's when they started helping to say, we can help you maybe with the equipment, and that's how it went. But at first it was very difficult. Even when I went to the markets, they will be like, a small girl like you, how can you produce, how can you give us so much quantity and stuff? So it kind of has been very difficult to actually blend in and stuff.
Wow. Thanks for that difficulty that you've expressed to blend in, trying to get the buy-in, the support. It is difficult with entrepreneurs across Africa. I want to hear from Talifani. Maybe before I hear from Talifani, maybe an audience would want to ask a question. So we want to give in 2 minutes for, let's say, 1 minute. If you have any question, you can raise your hand and then turn on your video, or just raise a hand to alert me, and then I can get you to ask a question.
Andrews, we have Tisetso already who has already raised a hand. So if you don't mind, Tisetso, are you able to speak? Tisetso Diamond?
Afternoon. I think I did a mistake here.
I see. Okay, go ahead then, Andrews.
Right. Okay. All right. So Talifani, we've gotten this whole impression that there is difficulty in navigating through the system, especially when it comes to seeking for help and getting the buy-in of people. You come from a place of, your school of thought is like serve yourself, present yourself. At what point in time did you probably face a challenge and say that no one is coming in? And how did you go about it? Maybe possibly for someone who is in Ghana. Let me give a scenario. In Ghana, most entrepreneurs say that when they get opportunity to have, let's say, a sit down with a potential partner or a collaborator, or even an investor, they experience those drawbacks. It's as if the people want to see the potential as in the money-making venture. Will it bring money to them? What is in for me? How would I get the buy-in? How would I get that? I don't know about you, but then this has been a challenge, and many people have a challenge getting to collaborate with people, especially when all they're looking at is making money off you. How would you make me money? How can I make money off you? How's it been for you?
Guys, think about me as your brother who come from your same house from nothing. Like I'm that person. Wow. I also learned the game the same way. They have to mistreat you if you are asking for help. You are a beggar. You know what I mean? Whoa. That's what you need to understand. If you are approaching anybody, you are a beggar, you're begging. So they can resist. You will always experience resilience from anybody. But think about things that you've always been interested to. Why were you interested to them? They were looking nice, they were attractive, and they presented themselves. So what I've learned, 2015, 2016, 17, I'm helping influencers who are becoming very big. But now 2017, I want to turn this to a business, to some that I now help corporations. So now I'm approaching corporations directly. I'm now calling them or doing whatever it can, sending emails, and nobody's replying. 2017, I'm a data science. I think what I know is good. But these people are supposed to reject me at that time because I don't have anything that makes them interested. I'm not showing anything that makes them love what I'm offering. I'm just like another kid who's talking entrepreneurship who feels like you know everything. Here's the game plan. 2018, I'm starting to figure it out. If you are approaching somebody who doesn't know you and you are approaching and asking, already that person should reject you, and you must know that. So what I've learned is attract people, start attracting people, start creating things that will make people get attracted to you. It doesn't have to start big. It has to start from wherever you are. So let's say, let me give you a small scenario. Let's say I'm good in music. And instead of me asking for opportunities, hey, please put me on radio. What I'm doing is I'm making a video like this. And I'm just saying, guys, drop your words, I'll go live, I'll be freestyling. And everyone is just going, drawing live. Do you know I can build a platform by just doing that? And as I do that, I'm increasing my platform. Who are my customers? The people who are watching me. All I need for a performance is 1,000 people to come to my show, 200 per person. I haven't talked money. I'm just talking about talent. In my service that I'm offering, I need to be attractive. Do you know that people approach me, companies, corporate companies, they approach me. If you go on my LinkedIn account now, you will see why. I'm telling my stories. I'm talking about where we're coming from. I'm talking the solutions. I'm helping people for free. And the more I'm doing this, it's a build up from 2015. The guys that I worked with from 2015 are now helping me. The guys that have heard about me, the guys, they are coming back to me. If you're approaching somebody and they don't know you, they will reject you. But if somebody's calling you and say, Mr. Banks, I've heard that you can help someone with this, you know, can I see you? I say, come to my office. Or let's meet while we're at the restaurant. When I'm meeting that person, do you realize that I'm not begging them? It's a mutual connection. Do you know that I can charge that? I can tell that person, oh, give me 5,000 to do this. I can help you. He's already aware that I've helped people. So he's going to pay me. He's trusting me. To build trust, you need to do something. So I say the problem that you will experience, which I'm not running away from, is management. Management is going to be a problem. It's still a problem to us, even when we have 240 square meters. We need to pay people. We need to pay. But management is a learning curve. I'm talking about just having a solution that can help someone. That one is free, and you need to create something that will make you attractive.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's wonderful. Our time is running so quickly. Let me get thoughts or two from maybe Alex, especially with COVID-19. You know, we want to project and tell our own story. Tiki shared a nice story. We need to tell our own stories and create our own narrative. Fantastic. However, we all got shocked by COVID, especially entrepreneurs across the continent lament and say that they've been hard hit by COVID. How is it to create resilience, okay, in connecting with staying attractive with telephonic thought and sharing your own narrative? How can you create resilience and navigate through this COVID-induced system that everything is going digital? Maybe I would hear from Lizzie on how you've been able to stay resilient also. But first, Fundis, how has it been for you, being attractive, telling your own story, and then being able to, you know, move through this global challenge of COVID?
Right, Andrews, and permit me to start by saying, I guess like everybody else, none of us had a roadmap. None of us knew how long this situation was going to stay with us. And for us, I remember, especially in Kenya, when the first positive case was, announced. And I remember we sat down and as a team and we asked ourselves, what does this mean for us as a service marketplace, as a platform where primarily for workers to earn a living, for workers to make an income on a month-to-month basis, they have to interact with people. And I remember in those reflective early days, one of the things that really helped me, and I would want to point every other entrepreneur to that, there is a very exciting book that was written by Simon Sinek that is titled Start with the Why. And that for me has been the rallying call, and the call I would tell every other entrepreneur. In the hard times, go back to the drawing board. Ask yourself, why did I get into this in the first place? Because if it's about the glory and about the fame and about a flashy lifestyle, you will pack up and leave real quick. So for us as a platform, we have had to refigure a lot. I would say for the last 1 year for us, every new day has been day one. And I think that needs to be the mindset of every single entrepreneur. Every single day is day one. We have readapted, readopted, we have pivoted. And honestly, that has helped us to really grow. So I think resilience is the hallmark of greatness, be it in a person, be it in a company, be it in a country. Because I think for us, the thing that we have really learned a lot is, I remember the first week and the second week, what we did, we said, let's get in touch with every single customer that has ever, placed an order with us, any sort of job request. And honestly, we did that by default, but that ended up working for us because what we were simply doing that time, we were asking guys, you know, how is COVID affecting you? We are just calling to ask how COVID is affecting you. And honestly, the fact that somebody called you to ask how you are doing during COVID-19, that was the single key thing that kept us going all the way to end of 2020. So I think for early stage founders, for early stage companies, it's important first to be very much in closeness with your customers, with the people that are your key partners. Because honestly, people buy value. Echoing what Salifani said, people buy value. People don't buy your cool logo. They don't come to your website to see, to see your design, your mantra again. So for us, I think just, you know, approaching every single day as a new day, that is one thing that I would tell every single entrepreneur, you know, it's going back to the basics, and those basics work.
Wow. Approaching every day as a new day. That's powerful. That's powerful. It's just set the tone. I want to hear from Lizzie, and then we'll climax this. We'll just wrap it up quickly. So Lizzie, resilience. Yes. What's your resilience strategy in this COVID time?
So honestly speaking, we started AfriFoodie in the middle of the pandemic, and I think like we can say AfriFoodie is one of the COVID-19 babies, you know. And yeah, so when we started, it was because we saw the need of, you know, there is this era of COVID-19 farmers. People want to grow their own food because since the market was disrupted and it was so hard for people to get food like the normal way they used to before that. So as a company, in terms of building resilience, we had also to, you know, as a founder, I had to, you know, learn to share our story. And when we, one thing that we had in mind is we don't want to start our business by borrowing money, but we had to look at different ways. What are some of the available resources or social capital that we can leverage on so that we can move forward with the business? And in that, I looked around, you know, at the some of the networks that we have. So right now, like even our founding team members, there are people who knows me. There are people who have like been with me since like 2018. And they saw part of my work, what I did with La Famille Grains, and now they decided, okay, Liz, yeah, we want to join you in building, you know, hydroponic system at AfriFoodie. And so the other thing about resilience is just having, you know, the mindset, the mindset of meeting the urgent needs of the people. So being more agile as an entrepreneur and looking at different ways to diversify your products. So we started with the normal hydroponic system, but then now we are transitioning into, you know, introducing IoT into the hydroponic system so that you, as you grow your crops, you can also get information about, yeah, the plant needs nutrients, you should add more water. So wherever you are, you will always know what is happening to that particular plant that you are growing.
Wonderful. I know we can go on and on and on and on. The panel session has been awesome. This has been very insightful. And thank you, Malachi. Thank you, Telefani. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you, Alex, for pouring out yourself and sharing. I feel there's more, but then let us just appreciate our fantastic panelists. I mean, all the audience, please appreciate them. And I can see the comments coming in. You can do a clap, you know, electronic clap for them. Let's get interactive. So thanks so much. That's an amazing serving as a moderator for this period. I want to call on Tiki, the founder for Shared Value Africa Initiative, to, you know, sum it all up and give us the last, but then the quickening dose, something that will get you guys moving, you know, get us pushing for impact, because all the things that has been shared, they are all the shared value tenets, the shared value attitude, the shared value mindset, all being portrayed by our fantastic panelists. So a shared value mama, please, you have the floor.
I think, Andrews, you have to call me shared value gogo, hey? So, but thank you. So yeah, I think today, you know, has really been, this last hour and a half or 2 hours has really, really been great. And I have to say, the one thing that I could hear in Alex, Alifani, Elizabeth, and Matlatsi's voices was almost that passion and that drive that came across. And I think it's when we go back to being an entrepreneur. Yes, I know I'm a gogo, but I'm also an entrepreneur. And I think that what we always, and this is what Talifani has said, you've got to give from the heart, you know. And another thing that he mentioned is that you also have to check your energy, you know. And Alex, I want to say thanks for the message on resilience, because it is about just continuing, you know, when you don't have the money, or when you lose money, as Talifani said, or as Maflatsi said, you get, you know, at the market, people want to say, who's this young girl here? You know, so you have to persevere, and that is the resilience that we're looking for. I think listening to everybody today, I can see that what COVID has given us is the rise of the African entrepreneur. African entrepreneurs is central to Africa's future prosperity. And the biggest opportunities in the coming decade will be created by Africans who start businesses, generate jobs and wealth, and capture growth opportunities. So across Africa, necessity is the mother of invention. And I believe that every young person that has been on this call today, and every young person on our African continent, has the capabilities to actually help us to grow this continent and bring about change. So I don't want to keep you any longer. I want to say thank you. I know Mamadou is not online anymore. The Visa platform is really, really great. Thank you, Emmanuel, for your 5x5 rule. I've also taken note of that wheel. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that was here today. And let's, you know, really take all of our African entrepreneurs, and let's go and create the Africa that we want. So thank you for being here. Look out, register for our course, because we really want you know, to help you to get your investor ready. And if you have any suggestions, please contact us, because this is your platform that we're creating, and we want to continue to support you in any way that we possibly can. So thank you very much, and thank you, Andrews, and thank you, Vuyo, and thank you, Lolo, in the background. Thank you, everybody.